here we go. This is going to get heavy, this camera. Hello, I'm Richard Vobes, the Bald Explorer. You know that. This is Ollie. Hello, Ollie.
Good morning.
Ollie Ringer, or Ringer Ollie.
Ringer Ollie.
Yeah, get it the right way round. Every time. Every time. It cocks it up. So, Ringer Ollie has said, look, now that we're allowed to actually meet each other, and although it looks like we're close, we're on a very wide angle lens, and Ollie is, for those people who are slightly worried about that, 20 miles away. So we've got social distance organised here. Oh, there's a car.
About to be run over. This is not good.
There's a car interrupting our flow. We're here. Where are we?
Bolney, Sussex.
I beg your pardon?
Bolney.
I only asked where we were. Goodness sake, it's so rude. Bolney in where?
West Sussex.
West Sussex.
Yes, we are in West Sussex.
Yeah, so we're just off the main A23 to London.
I don't drive.
You're on a moped.
Yeah, it's not really driving though, is it?
Well, what do you go on then?
It's a glorified scooter.
Oh, right, fair enough. We're by the 8 Bells in Bolney, but that's not what we're here to look at, because we're going up this pathway in front of us to have a look at the
St Mary Magdalene.
St Mary Magdalene Church, famed for its
Ring of bells.
How many has it got?
There's 8, and it's believed they're the oldest in Sussex, or the oldest peal of 8.
Good gracious. So, shall we go up the stairs, the apples and pears, and see, coming through the porch, not the porch, the lich gate here, next to the coffin rest. How old is this lich gate? 1905.
I've forgotten the date.
It's I told you, I gave him some information so that 1905. That's right. I actually gave you the information so that you wouldn't. So you look, because I said to him when we turned up, how much do you know about the church then, saying come to this church?
I said nothing.
I said bugger all. But anyway, here's a nice coffin rest. You pointed that out to me. At least
I knew that bit.
You knew that bit. Fibber. Anyway, let us go and have a look at the actual church and the churchyard. It's quite a big churchyard for a small village, isn't it? And quite a largish church.
It is, and the church can be seen quite a way away. Even though it's got quite a short, stubby tower, there's on the top of the tower there's 4 pinnacles, cones, things.
Oh yeah.
And they're quite a landmark because there's not many other towers in Sussex with that.
Right.
So it can be seen quite a way away.
And it's quite deceptive, but I mean it is on a hill.
Yes.
And I think that Boln, as in Bolney, Boln is an old Saxon word. Even though the church, I did do a bit of research, the church is not mentioned in the Doomsday Book.
No.
But it's believed to be 1100 in that century, the 1100s. So
yes.
What's that? The 12th century.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad you
see, it's what Richard hasn't said is that it's 10 o'clock in the morning, and in a teenager's vocabulary, that isn't a thing.
No.
That isn't a time.
That isn't a time. That is the time that you are
asleep,
unconscious. Yes. I don't know.
The joys of being
a teenager. Thank God I've just only got out of that a few years ago. Used to be a teenager. Anyway, what else can you tell me about this church? I mean, you've rung the bells here, haven't you?
I have once. They're rung from the ground floor. Not that makes much of a difference. And the clock was restored a couple of years ago and is now saying perfect time.
So when you say it's rung from the ground floor, that means that you don't go up into a little special tower room?
No. So a lot of towers are rung from a room about halfway up the tower or so.
Yeah.
These ones are rung from the ground floor, and the ropes span almost the whole length
so
of the
when
tower.
you pull them, you've got more chance of doing what they do in the comedy film. No, that never happens, does it?
But sometimes it makes them more of a challenge to ring, but I don't remember anything challenging about these bells.
Right, except there's 8 of them, so you need more players.
Yes,
ringers.
8 is quite a common amount of bells. So.
Oh, I beg your pardon. I think it's a lovely church, actually, Ollie. I think it is very beautiful.
It is. It's ruined, kind of, by the sound of that road. There's the busy road down at the bottom.
Of course. That's the main road, the A23.
But apart from that, you can actually hear the birds, which is good.
Oh, that's nice. Now, we're standing by the porch. Actually, oh, look. The church is actually open for a change. God knows how we're going to film in the inside there, because I've got a neutral density filter on. But The porch. How old is the porch?
300 years old.
It does say it up the top.
I saw the date. I was working how many years it is. 302?
Yes. It's 1718.
1718.
Yes. I'm glad we've got that.
Got that bit right.
Yeah. And what's interesting, there's a nice little...
sundial.
That's the word. Thanks for that.
That's okay.
Sundial. And a little inscription there, but I can't really read it. It says something like jury bird or something. Can you make that out?
There's an inscription underneath the sundial which says AD 1750.
There we go.
So that's when the sundial was made.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's nice. And the walls of the church is interesting because it's all quite different. On this, what I think is a slightly more modern adaptation, probably from the 18th century or something, is ironstone. And then on the roof, you've got the old Horsham slabs, the Horsham stone, which many of the churches have if they're reasonably old. And the tower itself, slightly different stone, looks like some form of sandstone, which suggests to me that the tower is the oldest bit remaining, and that on the walls. But inside there may be bits from the 1100s, the Norman period.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure, but I know there's going to be someone in the comments who will say exactly what it is.
Oh, of course. There's always somebody in the comments who knows far more than we do.
Far more than I do, you know more. But yeah, I would have thought they could have made the church to look a little bit older than it actually is. But
yes, I don't know that maybe in the 18th century they were that bothered to try and make it look antique, were they? They were trying to probably repair the damage that ravages of time had happened.
Yes, yeah, get it rebuilt and make it a church again.
Shall we just, before we go in and have a look on the inside, shall we just circumnavigate a bit more?
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks old.
That looks particularly old, yeah.
We've walked over to the East End now, looking here, and actually when you look you can see that the church has been tampered, yes. It's got a north aisle already in there. The ice cream van is popping around
random thing.
And the kids are at school. There's a school just at the end there. I don't like to film because the kids are actually in the playground, so I don't want to be arrested for being a pervert. Or being arrested for anything, really. Interesting. Now, you pointed this out. Tell me again about the brickwork.
So, it's standing here, you can see three completely different styles of building. You've got the older side here, and then the more north you go, the newer you get.
Yeah.
And then you've got this awful-looking toilet, I suppose, on the side. It's not nice.
No.
It gets worse as you go north.
So you've got the ironstone on the old end of the chancel here, and then you've got that weird-looking, strange pattern of brickwork, which is a bit out of keeping with the rest of it.
It's almost like tiger stone.
Yeah.
If that's a thing. It's
like
got stripes through it.
It's weird, actually.
It's really strange. It's round and grave, and then it's someplace in...
Shall we go in?
Yes.
After you, sir. Well, gosh, it's so nice to be able to come inside a church.
Inside a church for once.
For once. Yes. And so it's appropriate that I'm with the bell ringer.
Yes. Yeah.
Who's led me in. So we're now standing in front of the chancel, and you observed something interesting about that the minute you came in.
Yes. So I noticed it because there's a church in Norfolk I know which has a really good example of this. But as you go east, they've extended, I don't know what it's called, an eastern aisle or an eastern extension to the nave, and it's slightly out of centre, and it's slightly, which kills OCD in me, but it's slightly off centre, and it's because then it's pointing exactly east.
Oh, I see. Oh, right. Oh,
which
okay.
I believe is quite a religious thing, looking east.
So I guess that's it. I guess when they built the chancel to the nave, which is here, their compasses or whatever wasn't as good.
More up to date.
Yeah, more up to date. Well, actually, mate, it's a little bit that way. Oh, that's interesting. And behind us, we've got the
bell tower.
The bell tower, and there's a beautiful arch, isn't there? There's a massive arch that goes into the bell tower.
really nice.
We can't go in there, sadly, because they've barricaded it off, I think, because of COVID and things. But also, there's a nice bit of wooden door work at the back there, which looks very good.
It's got some words inscribed on it as well. I don't know.
It's got words, whatever next.
Not an odd, but it's quite a unique shaped roof. It's because on the outside it's like this, but on the inside it's more.
Yes, they've done. I don't know when they did the roof, but it does look rather swish, doesn't it? It's very
much more modern.
Modern and opened it up. Yeah.
And uniquely, this church has still got its pews. A lot of churches are doing away with the pews now.
Are they?
But yeah, you'll be surprised. It's annoying, but do remember that pews are a modern thing in churches, because people were expected to stand. And
the weakest go to the wall.
Yeah.
As they say.
But in days gone by, there would have been all types of animals in churches as well.
Yes.
Which is quite amazing to think.
Yeah. Well, if it was your centre of the everything. So the
community.
The nave would have been a marketplace as well, and you could take shelter if it was not good to be outside. Oh well, Ollie, thank you for bringing me to St Mary Magdalene. Here, I nearly forgot where we were. Here in Bolney. It's not been my most serious of look-round churches.
But when I'm involved, it never really.
But when you're exactly, so there we go. But you've rung here once. Yes. Would you like to ring here again?
Definitely. Yes. I've always wanted to come back, but never had the time.
So if you're, somebody who's part of the ringing set here, Ringer Ollie, are you still the head honcho at your church?
I am at a new church, but
right.
not the original one.
Not the original, but
I'm moving about quite a lot.
Yeah,
now.
so you're still a tower captain, are you?
Not now. I gave that up.
Right.
But I'm a vice captain.
Oh, a vice captain. Captain with a vice. We won't ask what that is. So now, as we record this, we're recording this on the 23rd of March. The intention is it'll go out tomorrow, which will be the 24th of March. But today is 1 year since the original lockdown was called by Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister, and you are involved in the sort of ceremony, or part of the ceremony, that's going across the country. A 1 minute silence there is for all the people who've died of COVID, and then you're doing a...
Yes, so today is a National Day of Remembrance, and at 12 o'clock there is a minute silence, so that's in an hour and 10 minutes. And at 12:01, there's a big national call for the end of the silence to be marked by the tolling of a bell.
And how long do you toll the bell for?
There's no real set time, but I'm going to do one ding for every 1,000 people who have died. So 100 and
something dings.
Something, yeah.
So will you know when you've come to the end?
I'll have to count and just hope I can stop.
Well, Ollie, so this has been a bit rushed because Ollie didn't have a lot of time today, but I do want to come back and have a look at the High Street, because you saw at the beginning it looked rather scrumptious, and I've
beautiful.
with the timber frame buildings, probably from the 16th century, who knows, 17th century probably. Anyway, if you've enjoyed it, don't forget to follow, like and subscribe, give me a thumbs up. Ollie has his own YouTube channel, which is Ringer Ollie.
Yes.
Check that out. I put a link on below. He hasn't done a huge amount over the last year because you've not been able to get into too many churches.
Nope, very annoying.
But as soon as we are released, you can bet your bottom dollar, or your £5, that he will be out there slinging that rope and rattling those bells as much as the next man. If not more, because probably the next man doesn't do it. Thank you so much.
That's okay. Thank you for watching.
We've had a laugh anyway. So, see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Right, I'll let you get on your little Honda.
Yeah, I'm just going to... whatever the blooming hell it is.